Hello. In this video, we're going to go ahead and look at the end behavior of some polynomial functions. So for the following polynomial functions, 1, identify the leading power function, and 2, state the left and right end behavior. Okay, so let's go ahead and identify the leading power function for each one of these. To identify the leading power function, we want to find the term with the highest exponent. So for a here, we have f of x equals x to the fourth plus 5x squared plus 11. And here's the thing. This is actually very nice because the leading power function is the leading term if it's written in descending order like this. So the leading power function, I'm going to label as LPF, and that's going to give me y equals x to the fourth power. So the leading power function for this one is going to be y equals x to the fourth power. Now what this tells me is that as x gets really large, the function is basically going to become this, either to the left or to the right. Now let's look at letter B. We have g of x is equal to negative 3x cubed plus 2x plus 1. Again, this is written in descending order. That means that the leading term is the leading power function. That's going to give me y equals negative 3x cubed. Excellent. Looking at letter C, this isn't quite written in descending order. This is actually a factored form of a polynomial. So we have m of x equals x times x minus 1 times x plus 2 all squared times x minus 7. Okay. So to do this, we need to be able to identify the leading power function without multiplying everything out here. The only thing we really care about is the leading term. So we're going to take this x and leave it there. Then we're going to look at this x. Now we're going to go ahead and think of this x as being x squared, and then this x as well. So we have an x, we have an x, we have an x squared, and we have an x. There are more terms than this, but we don't care about those. The only term we care about is the one with the highest degree. So I'm going to multiply everything in here. X times x is x squared, times x squared is x to the fourth, times x is x to the fifth. So that tells me that the leading power function is going to be y equals x to the fifth. And if there was, say, a 2 out here, we would put a 2 here as well, or something like that. Awesome. Next, let's look at letter D. Letter D, we have k of x is equal to 2 plus 4x minus 5x squared. Notice that this is not written in descending order, so we need to be sure to look at the highest degree term, which is negative 5x squared. And that's going to be our leading power function. Excellent. Now that we know that, we have all 4 leading power functions. What we need to do is we need to be able to identify what the end behavior is going to look like here. So remember, we have 4 different possibilities. If you have an even degree, it either opens up or it opens down in both directions. Or if you have an odd degree, it opens down and then opens up, and then flip it, makes it up and down. So this happens if you have a positive, and this happens if you have a negative. This happens if you have a positive, and this happens if you have a negative. Excellent. Now, let's look at this. For letter A, we have the leading power function of y equals x to the fourth power. We're going to now look at the left and right end behavior. So x to the fourth, that 4 is an even degree. That means that we're looking at this column. Notice that there's a positive 1 out front, so we have this positive, so we're looking at going up in both directions. So for the end behavior, wrong one. So for the end behavior, we're going up to the left and up to the right. Excellent. Now for letter B, we have the leading power function of negative 3x cubed. First of all, we always look at the degree first, so that degree is 3. That's an odd degree, which means that we have these two possibilities. And the leading coefficient is -3, so it's a negative, which means we have this one. So the end behavior here is up to the left and down to the right. Excellent. Now for letter C, we have y equals x to the fifth. The degree is 5, so we have odd. The coefficient is positive, so we have this one. That means that we're looking at down to the left and up to the right. So down to the left, up to the right. Awesome. And letter D, we have y equals -5x squared. The degree is 2, so we're looking at evens. The coefficient is negative, so we're looking at this one. So for the end behavior, we are going down to the left and down to the right. Alrighty. Well, I believe that's it for this particular video. I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and I will see you in the next one. Have fun.